Sainristil. Mike, how you doing, man? Welcome to LA. How are things going for your preparation so far this week since you guys have been here?
Things have been really good. Practice has been really good. Um, just everything about being here has felt really good. Just preparing since the end of the Big Ten championship, and then finally being able to come here and get the atmosphere down. Know what it feels like to be in California. Get all that stuff out the way. All the early events in the week. Get all that stuff out the way, and finally be able to completely shift focus to Monday.
3 straight years for this team as Big Ten champions, sitting here in the college football playoff. What's been behind the surge that this program has had to build to this point where you're a consistent national contender here over the course of these last 2 years?
Consistency in the off season, dedicating and coming up with goals as to where you want this team to be, and then leaders stepping up in roles. Pulling guys along, young guys who can help us, and then the coaches have done a great job with us schematically, helping us become a better team, and just not even the on-field stuff, like the stuff we do in the weight room, the stuff we do in the film room, just all of that type of stuff has allowed us to become a better, complete team.
Defensively, what are the biggest challenges that Alabama poses to you here?
They have a lot of offensive weapons, receivers, quarterback's really good. Running back is good, so they're a complete offense, but we also are the #1 defense in the country, so we propose many challenges for them as well. So it's going to be a great matchup.
Mike, thanks very much. Appreciate you.
I was just curious, did you catch any of the Ohio State game last night?
No.
Do you guys feel at all in the SEC Big Ten narrative? Do you feel like you're carrying I know you guys are playing for Michigan first and foremost, but is there some Big Ten pride on the line here?
Not from my standpoint, no, but SEC, Big Ten, it doesn't matter what conference you're in. And football is football at the end of the day.
So how much of your offensive if you're attached as an offensive player, how does that shape your instincts as an AD?
In a way, it allows me to not guess, but anticipate, as well as knowing my scheme, knowing what our play calls are, and then down the distance, knowing okay, offense might run this type of concept on 3rd and long compared to 3rd and short, knowing that what our offense did when I was a part of the offense, different things like that do help me in a sense.
Do you feel like almost you can read the receiver's body language at times, like, okay, this is what I would have done, and so they might do a certain cut or a certain move?
When I play receiver, I kind of try making everything looking the same. I didn't want to give DBs a easy tell on when I was either run blocking or running a route, as well as I'll make my body lean look the same, so I wasn't giving away any hints on if I'm about to break down or anything like that. But watching the film, you definitely can tell between certain receivers when they're getting the ball, when a play is designed for them, and when it's not.
Having done both sides, how impressive is it that Jermaine Burton's averaging over 28 catch for Bama?
That's really good for him. He's a good receiver, explosive receiver. Even when he was at Georgia, he was doing those type of things. And the scheme that they have allows him to be very successful, and he makes plays himself as well. So it's good for him.
How do you compare Ohio State's receivers to Bama's? Are there similarities?
I think Bama has a lot more speed than Ohio State's receivers did. But they're both two talented receiver groups, so I feel like we had some preparation by playing Ohio State's receivers, which is led us up to this point here.
How many times have you gone back and watched the OSU game? Have you done any of that, or is it all looking ahead?
We definitely go back and watch where teams have beat us. Not just the Ohio State game, every game that we played, we watch where do teams attack us the most, what coverages, what concepts hurt us the most, and we just go back and look at all of it, and then we put it together to see what's going to help us the most this game.
You feel like an underdog kind of in this game? A lot of people talking and betting on Alabama.
That's good for them. Let them take who they want. We care about ourselves, and again, we're just going out there to prove ourselves right.
Just talking to Samaj, he said that you really brought him along. You talk about how he's developed. He said you were the one that was sticking with him the most, and he really had to study you. Can you just talk about his growth a little bit?
Every day he's becoming more mature as a person, not even just a football player. I've known Samaj since my freshman year when he was in high school. I think he might have been in 8th grade when I met him. But Samaj, he's going to be a very good player, and to see what he's helped this team do this year, to see how he's played a big role, big key factor on this team. It's very good to see as a leader. He's going to be a name that's going to be remembered in this program.
How different is preparation this year compared to last year?
I don't know. I don't think about how we prepared last year. I just know the way we've been preparing this year has been really good.
Is there much of a difference in terms of the physicality of practice or how you guys are studying compared to certainly those games against TCU and Georgia?
I feel like this year we've been able to stay locked in for longer periods of times because of the schedule coach put out for us. And then when we have full go practices, it is very intense. It's physical. It's fast. It's like a true NFL practice how we've been practicing. But everything that coach has set out for us, the way he made our schedule has allowed us to prepare very well.
Has there been a big difference for you in particular, not being able to kind of study at home in terms of the film and all that?
No, I mean, we go to the team room and watch film. We get the guys together. But yeah, no, I've been able to study as much as I wanted to.
How would you describe the 24 hours around the Penn State game? Finding out that Coach Harbaugh was suspended and then the way that game played out?
It was unfortunate. We were kind of disappointed the way we found out. Excuse me. But we handled it very well. Coach was like, "This is what they're doing. This is the case. We're gonna try fighting it. If I lose, I lose. If I win, I win." But regardless, we knew we had to go out there and step on that field on Saturday, and it just gave us another chip on our shoulder, an even bigger chip on our shoulder. And so, we did what we had to do on that Saturday.
Did it show you something about the team that maybe you didn't know, or did it reinforce what you already felt about the team?
It definitely reinforced how we felt about this group of guys. Not really worried about what anybody else thinks. No matter what you try doing to us, no matter what you try saying to us, it's not, we're not going to let it affect us and what our goal is, and we're not going to let it derail us.
How would you describe the way Coach Harbaugh utilized that adversity, if you will, to kind of get you guys maybe more motivated in the rest of the season?
I think, as a team, we all let it motivate us. It wasn't just one person that was motivated. It really just adds to the story of what we're trying to accomplish.
In general, do you feel like he kind of relishes that position of having not a target per se, but sort of like that mentality of all right, we got to bond together because of everything else going around us?
Yeah, definitely. You heard him say, the bet. He made it an acronym himself, bring everybody together. And I think, that's exactly what's been going on this year with everything that's been happening. The team just every single day, every single week just continues to get closer. And that starts in the off season. That starts with the relationships that we build with each other through training, through film study, through practice, through everything that we go through in the off season.
Okay, I know there's 3 or 4 team buses. Were you on the bus when you say you recommend Ben Fitzgerald
No.
after the Michigan State game?
No, that's the offensive bus.
Okay. What was the defensive reaction when you guys found out he's breaking out karaoke coming back from Smarty?
I didn't even know that actually. We did hear that they were singing different songs on that bus, but yeah, I didn't know he did that.
Thanks, Mike. Much appreciated.
Mikey, as you look back on your career, you've been here for so long. What are your emotions going into this final 1 or 2 games? What's going through your mind?
I'm just taking it one game at a time, not looking ahead. What happened in the past happened in the past, and I'm blessed to be in this position I'm in right now.
Appreciate it, thanks.
In a game like this, when the margins are so small, turnovers can be the difference. Your guys have multiple interceptions this year. What goes into that? Is there a randomness to it, or is there a playmaking aspect to it? Talk me through the coming up with those interceptions and those big plays.
Taking care of your main responsibility, being in the spots that you're supposed to be in, executing the game plan, not trying to do anybody else's job, doing your 1/11th of the defense, and just making the plays that come to you.
How confident are you in the guys in front of you, linebackers, defensive line to get some pressure on a guy like Jalen Milrow and able to put in that
I'm super confident in our front seven. We have a stout D line. We have a great linebacker room. We have great DBs. So, like I said, if everyone just does their job, we know that they're going to make plays, but we're going to make plays as well. So it's going to come down to who's going to make the most plays when those plays are needed. Who's going to be the most fundamentally sound, most technically sound group on the field that day.
What stands out when you see Alabama's receivers on film? Some of those matchups.
Speed. They have guys who can track the ball very well down the field. But, I feel like every single week we've been, prepared through the preparation of our own receivers in practice, and then, who we face every week. Some teams might not have the same caliber receivers, but, some people do different things that, have challenged us along the way. So I definitely feel that we've been prepared for this moment.
Charles Wilson had a pretty famous interception in 1997 this game. Have you thought about what that kind of play for yourself in this game would be like or anything like that?
I definitely, visualize myself making plays. So, I'm not going out there, Monday looking to do too much, do too extra. I'm going to be who I've been. I'm going to, lead how I've led. I'm going to play how I've played, and, I'm going to make the plays that come my way. Yeah, yep.
Can I ask you a few questions, sir?
What's that word?
So I'm gonna start off with what's your name? I know everybody knows your name, but I really don't know your name. What's your name?
Fred Moore.
Okay. He trolling me. But on the team, who would you not let date your? I mean, who would you let date your daughter?
Who would I let?
Yeah, who would you let?
Nobody.
Bro, out of one person, just pick one person.
Nobody.
He's being different. Congrats to him. He having a daughter. You got the name for your daughter yet?
No, not yet.
Not yet. What you got in mind?
Ezra, Summer. Those are our top two right now.
Top two. I want to hold up your time, but we're Mike Sainristil. Have a nice day.
Appreciate you, Fred Moore. Good morning.
When you speak, do you mind talking right into the microphone? Is that okay?
Yes.
So we can get a little more out of you. Thank you.
Let me ask you some questions, bro. So let me introduce myself, bro. Jerome Nichols, big fan. Really? Cool. Jerome Nichols, man, big fan, bro. From Massachusetts.
Oh,
from 19.
you're from Massachusetts?
No, you are.
Oh, yeah.
19, bro. The 5, the Sub-Zero.
Uh-huh.
But my biggest thing is, who is your favorite player or why? I guess NFL, college, whoever. Whose game do you measure yourself after?
When I used to play offense, my favorite player was Tavon Austin. Defensively right now, I don't know. I don't think I have a favorite player on defense. I model my game for sure after guys like Mike Sainristil, Kenny Moore. Those two guys I look at and watch a lot.
My next question is,
My biggest inspiration?
Yeah, 'cause I mean, I know you as like Mikey, bro, but like I guess like I really want to get to know you. Like I know you big bro, you know what I'm saying? We always joke and everything, but
No,
I
my
guess, like,
inspiration, I
serious.
would say my parents, man. You know, to see what they've overcame in their lifetimes, to see the life or to see what they've been able to do, how they've been able to provide for my family. Um, the adversity that they fought coming from Haiti, being two immigrants, growing up in America, and then trying to raise kids in this society, a completely different culture. A country that lives by a completely different motto is what inspires me. It pushes me and drives me every single day to be able to wake up and say my parents are still here. They do whatever it takes to provide for this family. The only way I can pay them back is with my own success. So that's my inspiration.
What was your biggest obstacle in your career? I always do. You always been that guy for me.
I would
Like,
say,
but mind you, like even my freshman year, your sophomore year,
yeah.
we're 2-4, and now we coming up, but like in all that, what's been your biggest obstacle?
I would say that the COVID year and the following year, just because I was playing receiver, and I felt I wasn't really getting the looks that I wanted, or I felt like I wasn't getting targeted as much and stuff. So I was just like, you know what, I can only control what I can control. I've always I'm always been a mentally tough type of person, so I never really let it affect me too much. But I would say that would have been the first time that I was really in my head about am I the guy? Am I who I say I am? But all I could do is, control what I can control, and that's practice hard. That's show up every day, be who I am. And then, the following year after 21, I got moved to DB, and then my career has catapulted from there. And, that's a big shout out to Coach Harbaugh.
I guess my last thing is, bro, like, what advice you got for the young dudes out there, man? Like, my baby brother looks up to you. He calls you family. You've been to the crib and everything, but like, my little cousins know who you are. His kids in America know who you are. But, like, what's your biggest advice to them?
Consistency. And if you're really gonna do something, you got to do it. Don't just do it because someone else told you to do it. People could sit there and tell you, you got to do this, you got to do that. But if you don't want to do it yourself, then it's never gonna work out the way it should. You have to be willing, you have to be able. And a lot of people are able, but it's the amount of will they have in them that's gonna drive them and push them to get to the point of success that they want to be. So if you're not being consistent in it is that you're doing, plans will fall through, and they're not gonna go the way you want them to.
That's all I got, bro. Sounds amazing, Mike. All right, Mike.
Love, fam.
Hey, Mike. Big Ten Network. We got some fun questions for you.
Do you want to see him first?
No, just throw them at me.
He's just gonna film with his phone, but I'll read them. Okay. Ready?
Yep.
How long do your New Year's resolutions last?
My New Year's resolutions, I don't think I've made New Year's resolutions for the past like 4 years.
What's one rule from another sport you would add to football? If you can't think of anything, that's okay. That one's kind of
Maybe slide tackling from soccer. No, I'm playing.
Who's your top artist this year on Spotify or Apple Music?
Probably Kodak.
Alright. What's one alum from Michigan you'd like to hang out with?
One alum. Can I give you 3 or 4?
Yeah, go ahead.
Michael Phelps, Tom, Dez, and Charles.
If you were planning a theme for a bowl game, like the Pop-Tart Bowl was super popular, what would you pick?
It could be anything like.
Yeah. The
I-
weirder the better.
Oh man. The shampoo bowl. Shampoo bowl. Just have, after the game, whatever team wins, have shampoo poured all over the coach. Something like that.
Alright, and then give us your best impression of one of your coaches.
I can't do that. You know why? Because our coaches don't like us impersonating them. So I'm not going to do it.
All good, all good.
Thank you.
No problem.
Mikey.
Yo.
Mikey. Nice to meet you. Brandon Hillman.
DB from Michigan. What about you?
Mike Sainristil, DB from Michigan.
Okay. Is there any pet peeves, like pregame pet peeves that you have to do?
A pregame pet peeve?
Did I say it right?
You mean pregame like routine?
Pre-game routine. Good. See, that's why I like you. Captain. You feel me?
My pregame routine, I definitely, like, it's mandatory that I don't tape at the facility. I tape the first thing I get into the stadium. I have to do that every time.
Okay. Next question. Is there any song that get you in the right mind space to go out there and do what you do? Or is it just all, let's go do it?
Any gospel music. Yeah, like I'll wake up, gospel music first thing in the morning, and then throughout before game time, the warm-ups I have a little rap music on there. And then right before game time, when we come back into the locker room, I'm back to gospel. Kind of calm my mood down a little bit, get me settled.
Thank you, Mikey. I will definitely be back with more questions.
Appreciate you, Brandon Hill. Good, you?
So, I've been covering football for a while. Every time that the Big Ten has SEC play, you always hear the narrative out there about the rivalry between the conferences. Does that resonate much with the players when you guys go up against an SEC type team?
No, not to me at least, because football is football at the end of the day. It's the same thing like when you're getting recruited out of high school, like people will tell you, you're from the north, they don't play football up north. Or like me, I'm from Massachusetts, they don't play football in Massachusetts. And to me, that doesn't matter. If you know how to play football, you know how to play football. It doesn't matter where you come from. They might say speed is different, physicality is different, size is different. But at the end of the day, it's as cliche as it sounds, it's the fight's going to be won by the dog that's hungrier. And that's all this game's going to take. The team that's more physical, the team that executes the most, the team that makes the most plays when those plays are needed to be made, that's the team that's going to win.
So when you look at the tape, Mike, does anything jump out with them as far as you talk about speed and physicality? You think you guys match that as well as them with anybody else?
I know we match that. I don't think we match that. I definitely know that, I know what this team, I know what our team, I know who we are. I know how physical we are. I've seen it every single day. I know how fast we can play. I've seen that every single day. And I know how well we can execute our game plan. It's going to come down to the team that limits the mistakes. The margin of error is much smaller in these playoff games. So the team that makes the most mistakes probably going to be the team that, ends up winning. The team that executes the most is probably going to be the team that does win.
So when you went to bed the night after the Big Ten championship game, the next day the selections were going to be announced, did you go to bed thinking it was going to be Florida State, or did you really know? Did it really, was it something you were thinking about, or what?
No, I didn't think about it at all. I knew we had the selection the next morning, but that's the furthest I thought about it.
When you saw it was Bama, were you surprised?
No, I wasn't surprised. I wasn't like it is what it is. Like you saw it, and I was like, yeah, that's who we're playing. I was like, let's go. That was my instant reaction. Was let's go.
So, a couple of players mentioned that after the 2020 season, Jim Harbaugh sent an email around to players. Does that ring a bell?
Yeah.
What did you think of that?
I don't remember what was on the email, but it was almost kind of like I'm pretty sure it was an email pretty much, if I was to sum it up, saying like, here's the things that we need to do to not rebuild, but like, reshift our focus in a sense.
Were you inspired by it?
Yeah, I'm inspired by, 99% everything Coach Harbaugh says. He's a very wise man, intelligent man, and he's never said anything to me that hasn't, been in my best interest. So, when he speaks, I listen.
What do you think of his speeches? I know sometimes he'll send those too after he gives them.
I think Coach Harbaugh could be a writer or a poet or, anything of that sort. Because, like I said, he's very good with his words. some speeches are different than others, but you know, like when he speaks, when he's saying something, is very powerful, very meaningful. You know, very deep when he talks.
What about you? You're a musician, is that right?
Used to be.
Used to be. You don't play anymore?
No.
You ever think you'll get back to it?
I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. I haven't really thought about it too much.
You got other things on your plate.
Yes.
What part of Madison are you from?
Boston. Everett.
Everett?
Yeah.
So, Michigan, who else? Sort of, you decided to go to college ball. Anybody? Who are the other sort of main shooters?
I was committed to Virginia Tech before Michigan. I flipped from Virginia Tech, but I had other schools like Ole Miss, Southern Mississippi, Rutgers, Boston College, Indiana, Wisconsin.
Were they all recruiting Mike as a receiver or a two-way player?
Yeah, two-way player.
Did you go to college wanting to play offense, or did you really care?
When I got here, Coach Harbaugh said, you have the choice to play offense or defense. I chose offense, and that's what I wanted to do was play offense. And then I would joke around about playing defense from time to time. Didn't really think it was ever going to happen until the end of 2021 when Coach called me and said, I want you to play defense.
And obviously the team needs you to play defense. That's sort of been microcosm of this team is you guys have been a pretty selfish ball team.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a team that plays for each other, a team that loves each other, respects each other. We're all it's a true brotherhood on this football team, and that's what I like about the most about this group of guys.
Coach, outside the locker room, I'm sure you hear all the stuff about how odd he is, how weird. What version do you guys see? Like some of your teammates were saying yesterday, yeah, he's a little odd, but he's sort of our oddball. We get him. For you guys as players, when you see some of the funny stuff he said, crazy things, is it just sort of, is that him, the media's portrayal, fans' portrayal, or is it also like that inside the locker room?
That's who you see right here doing interviews is who you'll see in the locker room. That's how Coach Harbaugh is. That's who he is. That's who he's been since I've met him, and that's what I love and respect the most about him. He's gonna be who he is no matter what.
Trevor was saying yesterday he loves his anecdotes. How he'll come up with comparisons or anecdotes. He said we're always waiting at team meetings, sort of the next one. Are you sort of the same way?
Yeah, he has a bunch of good things that he says, and at first it makes you think about it. But then it's like, oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
How do you think he's come through everything this year? Everything that's been thrown at him? How have you seen him come through?
He calls himself a steel wall.
What?
He calls himself a steel wall. Yep.
Meaning that everything bounces off?
Yep.
As players, has it seemed that way? Have you seen him at all this year get, not down, but a little bit, whether it's pissed off or like, when's it ever going to stop? Or have you just sort of been that guy who sort of tries to long the board?
One track mind is what he says. He knows Coach knows what the focus is, and it's been that way since we found out that he wasn't coaching against Eastern ECU. So since then, it's been the same exact way.
How has that translated to you guys as players? Has it filtered down to you guys as a football team, Mike?
Yes.
Can you give me an example?
We don't care about outside voices, outside noise. We just focus on ourselves and do what we can to do to make sure we're successful.
Let me ask you one more thing before I go. When you look at, I know you watch a lot of tape with guys. When you look at Milroe and his maturation this year, what sort of has jumped out to you about what he's doing now that's been so successful as opposed to maybe what he wasn't doing earlier this season?
I think he has a lot, more poise. Being able to stand there, stay in that pocket, make the good throws, make the, downfield throws, take hits, and just he seems like a true leader. And I think, the guys around him, you respect him, believe in what he says, and that's somebody you want to play with. He looks like a good teammate to me, and his athleticism, all of that, jumps out on tape. I think he's overall a really good player. So, this is going to be a great matchup for us.
His ability to run and extend the play, is that sort of the thing that is most dangerous about him? Because you obviously got to contain him and not let him get loose. Is that sort of one of the things about him? If you're going to sort of keep him under wraps, you got to do?
Yeah.
Sort
Yep.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it. Good luck to you, all right?
Thank you.
Mike, for you as a defensive back, obviously, you're not directly chasing around Jalen Milrow, but when he does take off, what is that like for you kind of on the back end of the defense?
Just tackle him like a running back. He can run the ball very well. He's good in space. He's, a bigger quarterback. But you just got to be physical with him. Like I said, just tackle him like a running back.
Oh, and Alex in practice giving you the look for him. But how's Alex been and going up against him in practice?
They're probably, if I didn't know their names and I watched both of them play football on tape, I'd say those guys are probably twins. So it's been a perfect look for us.
Thanks, Mike.
No problem.
Mike, you've been around the ball a lot this year, making a lot of big plays for the defense, creating a lot of turnovers. Can you kind of describe the sense that you might have to be in those spots, or just take me through how you're able to make so many big plays for the defense?
Just doing my part, doing my part of the play call, doing my part of the game plan, because I know that the other 10 guys around me are doing their part, their responsibility. So if I'm doing mine, then someone's going to make a play. If all 11 guys are playing as one, players are going to be made.
Do you think that transitioning from receiver to corner has helped in any sense in terms of creating fumbles, interceptions, potentially?
I'll just say it helps me anticipate. But, what also comes with anticipating is knowing your game plan. And then, film study, knowing tendencies, and then just, studying the receivers, knowing what they like to do, knowing where they're uncomfortable. There's a whole bunch of different things that go into, being able to make those plays and, figuring out other receivers and, figuring out what the offense does.
Thank you. When you have this much time to prepare for a game, do you think it's easier or harder to stay locked in because you have so much time to prepare, but you also have so much time to play? Is there pros and cons to that, or do you see it one way or another?
It all depends on the team's mindset. If you let yourself fall victim to the game is in a month, then you'll fall victim to it. But if you keep your mind focused on we have to prepare, we have to stay locked in, stay focused, then that's what you're gonna do. There is a balance between over preparation and under preparation, and I just feel like Coach Harbaugh has done a great job of helping us have that in between.
What's the main thing he's been emphasizing to make you guys have that in between?
That when we have our walkthroughs, be 100% attentive to the walkthroughs. When we have practice, be 100% attentive to practice, and just take advantage of every opportunity we have in preparation. Thank you. D-Wall.
So, for everybody out there, coming from high school, as a three-star recruit, not being highly recruited, and right now, you're playing on the biggest stage and having a good career and making so far. Who would you give to the younger guys out there who's not being highly recruited right now?
Star don't matter. A star don't make you who you are. You were who you were before the star was even put on your name. Just ball how you ball. Stay consistent, stay locked in, work hard every day because that's what's going to pay off for you in the long run. You know that.
Hey, Mike, how you doing?
Hey, Coach Moore, how much better did you get to know him when he had his stint as a head coach?
I knew that about Coach Moore before that even happened. I'm pretty sure I came in the same year or a year after Coach Moore got in. So I knew who he was, before he had to step up and be a head coach.
Is he as calm and steady every day as he presents? We've seen.
Is he calm and steady at times, and then at times he's very fired up. He brings the juice. He's probably the juice man around the building. He walks around with a yardstick. He slams it on the boards. But, he's the juice guy around the building.
Can I ask you a question? Mike, you're also known as Sub-Zero. Where did that come from?
Quentin Johnson.
Quentin Johnson?
Quentin Johnson.
Who's Quentin Johnson?
Number 28.
He came up with Sub-Zero?
Quentin Johnson.
So does he get part of the trademark deal or something?
Quentin Johnson.
Okay. All right. That's all I got.
Coach Moore.
Oh, more. Okay, gotcha. Just been talking about kind of the quirky style of Harbaugh and the weird things he says and does. And I've been telling stories. Do you have a favorite quirky Jim Harbaugh style? I know we've got the chickens and the sayings.
No, I don't think I got a favorite. I don't have a favorite.
What about just his personality? How do you, when somebody asks you, hey, what is it like to play for? What do you tell them?
I say I love it. He's a great coach to play for. He's a coach that loves his players. You know, we love him. You know, there's nothing I wouldn't do for Coach Harbaugh if he asked me to do it. And, you know, when he does ask me to do it, I'm going to do it 100% because I know he will do the same in return.
I know, I mean, Blake plays on the other side, but he's this close to setting the record for the career rushing touchdowns at Michigan. What would that mean to see Blake get that for you to see that?
That would be awesome to, you know, even be able to say, like, in 30 years, like, I played with that guy. And, you know, it's an honor to say right now. It's a blessing to say right now, like, that's my teammate. And I hope he does do it. I'm rooting for him.
A bunch of your teammates I've talked to this week have said Coach Herb had a really big impact on their mental attitude this year and how this team approaches adversity. Have you experienced that too? That Coach Herb is really a leader in that way?
Yeah.
What does he do?
It's not really what he does or you know, like it's more so he allows us, or he doesn't put us, I wouldn't say he puts us through things, but it's more about, you know, telling us, like, you can't control you can't control weather, you can't control you know, schedule changes, you know, like there's a whole bunch of things that you can't do, but what you can do is show up, do what's being asked of you to be done, get it done at a very high level, and, you know, control the circumstances that you can control. And it's like, don't fall victim to the why me, or, you know, the things that allow you to, you know, have a setback. You know, if you don't fall victim to those things, then you will be successful.
It seems like that was a message that was important this year, because not many teams go through it where their head coach is now on the sideline or after the game. It seems like it was important for you guys to be tough mentally. It seems like you really were. Yeah.
Yep.
It's pretty cool. How did you feel about this season in terms of like you know, the suspensions and everything? Because everything went so well on paper, but there were so many challenges to get there. It was so hard to get there. How proud are you of this team and the way it did this?
I'm super proud of, you know, everybody on this team, from the staff to the you know, players, and you know, I think the most important thing during those times was the leadership, and everybody led. You know, we have a whole bunch of leaders from 6 years, 5th years, senior class, junior class. You know, Coach said it himself, like, there's no, for the past 2 years we had a leadership council. We didn't do it this year because Coach felt that this was a team full of 100 leaders, and I think, you know, during the times when Coach was out, the best thing for us was to, you know, the whole group come together, which is exactly what we did.
To be this close to your dream, one game away from playing for the championship, how is it difficult to not think too far ahead and not think about your ultimate goal? Does the fact that it's Alabama make it a lot easier to concentrate on this game?
I don't think it's very difficult at all. It's just, you know, our focus right now is on the semifinal playoff game. It's not the national championship. Like, we know that it's right there. And it's the same thing as, you know, early in the season. It's game 2, it's week 2, but we know that we still have to play Ohio State in November. It's, you know, it's just focusing on who you have that week, staying locked in on that opponent. I'm good, you?
Who's the most famous person or alumni that's reached out to you after you guys made the playoffs?
Probably Desmond Howard.
What do you say, or what was his message to you?
He didn't reach out to me. We actually had an interview with him.
Okay.
So.
Okay. And if you could change one thing about the transfer portal, what would it be?
I don't pay attention to the transfer portal. I'm not sure.
So this is the last year of the 4-team playoff. What's your
Like that I've played in.
No, just that you've watched growing up.
I don't think I have one. A favorite. Do you?
What's one thing you would say to a high school player coming up to cut off immediately if you want to get to this level? And you're about to play road time at the Rose Bowl. What's that one distraction you would cut off from your experience for that high school player and trying to be in your position? And I ask you because obviously you're here now. From your point of view, what you've experienced, what's that one thing that you have to live there? Want to get to this next level?
I didn't, my own personal experience, I never allowed myself to get distracted. I've always grew up just doing what was right because, that's just the nature I come from. But I would say just, if you sit down and, look at the 10 most, or the 10 things that you do the most, and you go through every single one of them and ask yourself, is this benefiting me? Do that and figure out if it's not benefiting you, why are you still doing it? If it's not taking care of your family or yourself, then it's not going to be able to take care of the team. So probably cut that out of your life.
So analyzing every move while you're journey. Okay. Thank you.
No problem.
How you doing?
Do you?
So Jim keeps talking about this being the team, right? He's like, and just saying, and all these different things. Is there a moment, like one specific moment when you
15
look around
minutes remaining. 15 minutes remaining.
Practice or anything where you look around and it's like, damn, like this is the group. Like we really do got this.
No, I don't think I have any specific moment.
I mean, like after Zinter getting hurt. That's like an in-game moment. How about like I mean, maybe that is it, right?
Yeah.
When I was asking, that sort of stands out to me, but I don't see everything.
Yeah.
Experience your own.
Probably either right after we found out Coach Harbaugh wasn't going to be there for Penn State is one of the key moments, just to see how everybody responded within that next 5 hours of hearing the news, and then of course the next day to see how we went out and played. But
how did you respond? Like now that it's a little more removed, how pissed were you guys?
I think, I don't know if we were pissed or if it was more like, all right, like, this is what they want to do. Like, let's go out and prove them wrong. You know what I mean? Like, you take our coach away from us at one of the most pivotal times of our season. Okay, cool. Like, we have an answer for that, and that was just, go out and dominate.
And then you told me about that in high school when your mom said happy birthday, like you had everyone say. Do you remember what year that was?
That was 2010 Dorchester Eagles.
Okay. So it wasn't in high school.
No, this is Pop Warner.
Okay, it was Pop Warner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thanks, dude. Appreciate it.
Like throughout the course of the season, sometimes it's Blake scoring 3 or 4 touchdowns. Colston's had a multi-touchdown game. JJ's running in, throwing it in. As a defensive guy, you're at Bama. What's the scouting report look like for Michigan?
Very good run game. Don't fall asleep in the pass game because at any moment they could go against, they could have a play action pass. Try to contain JJ. Don't let him extend plays with his feet. Good arm, very accurate passer. Receivers who will make the catches you give them. Definitely make sure you contest the catches. Tight end group that's very talented. So, our offense, definitely gives them a lot of things to worry about, I feel. So, it's going to be a good matchup.
I wonder if you could go back to when you were going through the decision to switch positions. Was that something that you pitched? Was it Coach Harbaugh? Was it like, how did that come about?
Coach Harbaugh called me going into spring ball and said, Mikey, I want you to play defense. I didn't really hesitate or think about it. The next day I was in the film room.
Was that talked about at all during your recruitment? Because I know you did pretty much everything in high school. I'm sure some teams recruited you on defense. Did Michigan, and what was that discussion like before it actually happened?
Yeah, so Coach Brown recruited me to play, not to play defense, but he was part of my recruiting process, Coach Brown and Coach McElwain. And when I got here, Coach Harbaugh said, you can play offensive defense. I'm leaving it up to you to decide. So, I chose offense. I wanted to play receiver. And then it wasn't until the end of 2021 where he actually said, let's make a switch.
Last thing real quick, obviously you've been here for a while now, so you've seen the ups and downs. I know you guys don't want to get too far ahead, but have you had a chance to think about how special 3 years in a row is to make the playoffs, beat Ohio State, and just kind of the way you're closing out your career?
Yeah, Coach Harbaugh, I'm not sure if he said it in the media, but, him saying, the worm has turned. I think you probably heard him say that before.
Yeah. So many.
Yeah. Just, it's what we've been working for. It's what everyone's been having their mindset on is, turning the narrative of this program. And it's not like we've been, other than the 2-4 season, it's not like ever had a season where we had a losing record. We've still been a solid, it's been solid years. It's just, you look at the history of this program, it's not what it's been. So to finally be able to get it back to, the standard of what Michigan is, it feels good to be a part of the process.
We talked about how the preparation is different. That's what you said the other day in Ann Arbor. But now that you're here, what is different about playing in a Rose Bowl for the third consecutive year for college football?
Just the history of the game itself. Desmond Howard was saying this the other night that, you go to Michigan, you have the game, Ohio State. But the feeling of the game, I haven't been able to feel it yet because of it's not Monday yet. You know what I mean? But he was just saying that like the amount of emotion that you feel before playing the actual game itself is unmatched. Like, and the rivalry of Ohio State is probably the most, it's the biggest rivalry in college football in my opinion. And it's for him to tell us that if you multiply that emotion, that feeling by 100. It's like, no, there's no way you're being real. Like, there's nothing that could be bigger than that game. So, I'm waiting I'm a very emotionally stable person, so I'm waiting to see what that actually feels like on Monday.
Speaking of emotion, do you feel like after what happened last year, coming into this, that you guys are a little more humble this time around?
Yeah, definitely. I definitely feel like we kind of took our foot off the gas a little bit going into that TCU game because, we had a narrative that Big Ten football isn't what are they, Pac-12? Or TCU? No, Big 12. See, I don't even know my conferences. But we had a narrative that, Big Ten football is a lot more physical, a lot more whatever than Big 12. But, that's not the case. Like, football is football at the end of the day. And when it comes to the playoffs, every team is as good as each other. Or you have teams that are faster, that are whatever than each other. Like, if you're a good football team, if you're a good football player, you're gonna show up in these big games. And TCU did exactly that. They took advantage of the mistakes we made, and we weren't able to come back, get ourselves in a position to win that game.
Just talking about how special it is to come back for a third straight year. Like, have you kind of told that to the younger guys? Like, hey, this doesn't happen all the time. Like, here we are. Like, let's embrace it.
Yeah, definitely. The young guys, some of them don't know what losing feels like. And, to be a guy, part of this team that came from a 2-4 season, it's like this didn't happen overnight. Like, this started somewhere. And so for you guys to be a part of this, one, take advantage of it, but don't let it go back to what it was. Keep this program at what this program is right now, and leave something, leave a legacy for the guys that come in after you to follow and surpass at some point.
I need to take it over. I need to take it over the Big Ten. If you got the last one, what jumps out from Alabama's offense the moment you turn on the tape? What jumps out?
Speed. They got a very fast receivers, a very fast quarterback. They have a good running back room, and then their O-line is very stout up front. So, they have a great offense. But, to be a part of the number one defense, we know that we have a great challenge on our hands, great opportunity. So, I can't wait. It's going to be a very fun game come Monday.